Hello? Test, test, check 1, 2, check 1, 2. I should be live. All right, y'all. Hey, how's it going? I was waiting for a response. Not gonna get one. I'm down here at the studio, commonbondyoga. You may have heard of us, you may not. If this is your first time checking us out on YouTube, head on over to patreon.com/commonbond to support us. During this time, we're just asking for a few bucks to keep us afloat as we move through the pandemic. In the meantime, I'm gonna do a Hatha style class tonight. I've got some dripping water over here, got some lights, I've got a camera. If there's any technical difficulties, hit me in the YouTube chat, let me know. Otherwise, I'm just really happy you're out there, and yeah, send me your questions. Post a pic of your setup at home, and tag us on Instagram. Okay, stand up nice and tall at the top of the mat. Feet flat-ish on the floor. Relax the shoulders. Roll them out a few times. Shake the head yes and no. Woo, didn't hear the snap, crackle, pop there. I definitely felt it. Find that deep breath in the low belly. Soften the space between the belly button and the pubic bone and let it expand as you inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. A couple more like that, please. And just bring your hands to heart center for just one moment. This moment of reprise, this stillness we get before we go. Finish your next exhale. And then release the hands, sweep them wide and high, lengthen up, try to touch the ceiling, exhale, soften your knees, come all the way down to the floor. When you get down there, shake your head yes and no a few times. Hi, I'm happy you're out there, Charlotte and Jennifer. Relax your head. Woo, bend one knee and then the other. And then inhale, halfway lift and lengthen. To flatten the back, it's a long spine. It won't be fully flat. You're thinking more about tucking the tail. Back of the neck is long. Bend your knees and deepen your fold back to the floor. Let's do that 2 times more with a breath. Inhale. Exhale. 1 time more. Exhale. Back to the ceiling, please. Roll up through the spine. You can float the fingers up overhead. Exhale, hands to heart center. Pause a minute longer. And then again, sweep them up wide and high. Interlace your fingers. Release your index fingers. Cross your thumbs. Lengthen up like glue. And then just bend over to the right side of your mat. Long through the left side of the hip. Press down through that left foot and breathe right here. Couple breaths more here on this side. And then inhale back up to the ceiling. Pause in the center. Take that exhale right there. Inhale again to lengthen. Then bend over to the left side of your mat. Pressing your hips off to the right side of the mat. Squeeze the legs into the earth. Reach the armpits and the fingertips high to the sky. Back of the neck nice and long. Couple more breaths there. Inhale back up to the ceiling and split the arms for cactus arms. Palms can be faced forward or turned toward each other. Lengthen the back of the neck and then lean back but push up through the sternum and move yourself out of your waist as much as you can. Press down through the heels. Look at the ceiling. Inhale back up nice and tall. Soften the knees, exhale, dive forward. If you heard a sneeze in the background, that's the dog. Inhale, halfway lift. She's over there. Come over here, Piggy. Plant the hands and step back to downward facing dog. We'll pedal it out here for just a second. I already screwed up my class. And we're just getting started. Press down the fingers. Shake the head yes and no. There she is. Hi, sweetie pie. Okay, left foot, friends. Bring it to the front of the mat. Release the right knee to the floor, the top of the foot, and then arms come up overhead for low lunge. That's our first lunge here today. Pulling heart sternum up out of the waist, long through the fingertips, shoulders come down the back. You can bend deeper into the knee or back up slightly, or you can make it dynamic so that you move back and forth a few times. Whenever you pick a spot that you really do like, though, reach up nice and tall. Press through the top of the foot. Exhale, lean back a little further. And then bring those hands down to the mat. We'll push back to downward dog. Official this time. Pedal it out right and left. When you're ready, roll all the way forward to that plank pose. When you get to the plank, lengthen the back of the neck longer here. Spread the fingers out nice and wide. Broaden across the backs of the shoulder blades, and then set the knees down. Bend them lower down. We'll take a backward bend and then back to the mat. Pushing up through hands and knees, returning hips toward the heels, long again through the spine, and you'll come back into that downward facing dog. A few breaths here. I need to adjust my water collector ever so slightly. And then your right foot to the front of the mat. Release the left knee, the top of the foot. Arms and heart come up overhead on this other side. I keep missing the spot. What's going on over here? Yeah, I think there's 3 drips now. Up through the sternum, down through the back of the neck, long into this low lunge on the other side. And then go ahead and bring those hands to the mat. Please step forward, halfway lift. Exhale, deepen the fold. Reverse swan dive all the way to the sky, arms up. And then exhale, hands to heart center. We'll do it again. Inhale, arms up wide and high. Palms together, interlace, release, and cross. Bend over to the right side. Press hips off to the left. Exhale deeply. Inhale back up to the ceiling, nice and tall. Exhale over to the left. Hold that space. Take a little bit deeper of a breath into that low belly. And then inhale back up to the sky, nice and long. Split the arms again, cactus arms. Elbows wide and high, heart sternum forward. Lengthen the back of the neck, lean back. And then all the way up to the sky. Nice and long, soften the knees. Forward fold, belly to thighs. Come all the way down, make as much space as you need to while you're down there, and this time we'll take that forward fold. So grabbing a hold of the big toe with your peace finger, or stepping on the palms, either way. Pull against the feet, elbows out wide, head relaxes down. Whew, just a few breaths here. Release. Inhale, halfway lift. This time we'll step the right foot back, please. High to those right toes. And then when you're ready, lengthen the back of the neck nice and long. Sweep the arms up overhead through the fingertips. Bend into the left knee. Soften the right knee and try to square the level hips straight up to the sky. Big inhale, big exhale. Oh, piggy. Long through the spine. And then exhale, hands to the mat. Push back to down dog. Pedal it out. Look forward. Roll forward. Plank pose. Feet back, hands forward, knees can come to the earth. Lengthen the back of the neck, tuck the tail slightly, and lower in one piece by bending the elbows. Release the top of the feet, long as if you were rotating the ears up toward the sky first, and then maybe a little bit of eyes, but not too much. Exhale, back to the mat, push away from the floor, hips up and back, downward dog. Spread the fingers out nice and wide. Right foot, front of the mat, excuse me, high to those left toes. Arms and heart come up overhead, and then we're in high lunge on the other side. Pulling left hip up and forward, bending through that left knee maybe slightly, but again, try to take the top of the hips and tilt them slightly back. Back of the neck nice and long. Reach up through the fingers. One more inhale, and then hands to the floor, step forward, halfway lift. Exhale, deepen the fold. Back to the sky, arms up. Exhale, hands to heart center. All right, chair pose, Uttanasana. Go ahead, lengthen the back of the neck, sweep the arms up wide and high, hips back and down, chair pose. Pressing down through the feet, pull them apart. Pull up through the sternum, down through the tail. Big inhale, big exhale. Inhale again, and then exhale, forward fold. Halfway lift. Plant the hands, step back to down dog. Now, you'll remember that in the Hatha style common core class, we give the option to stay in down dog, so, like Piggy's doing. You see, Piggy insists on all the things that she wants. One of them was to come with me to work today. However, now she's insisting that it's dinner time. Piggy, lay down. Look forward, step forward. Drop the hips, sweep the arms. We'll be in chair pose again. When you're ready, it's not the deepest lunge of your life or squat of your life. Pull yourself up a little bit more. Draw the belly in. Big inhale. Press down through the feet. Big exhale. Inhale again. And exhale, forward fold. Halfway lift. Go ahead and step back once again to plank pose. Shift the weight back and forth. And then when you're ready, lower down. Inhale up. Exhale back down. Push back to down dog. Come on. Lay down. Lay down. Lay down. Lay down. Be a stinky dog. Yeah. Stinky dog. And then forward. Drop the hips, sweep the arms, chair pose. Inhale. Stand up tall. Exhale. Hands to heart center. This time we'll do it with warrior ones as well. Inhale, sweep the arms up wide and high. Hips back and down, chair pose. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale again. And exhale, forward fold. Halfway lift. This time step the right foot back. Set it down at an angle. Take those arms up overhead, reaching for the sky. Back of the neck long. Bend into that front knee. You can press out through the heel a little bit more. Reach for the fingertips. Inhale. And then exhale, hands to the mat. Step it back to your down dog. Pedal it out. And choose the option of moving through a vinyasa flow here or staying in down dog. And then back to the front of the mat. Drop the hips. Sweep the arms. We'll come up to another chair pose. Just this breath, inhale. And then exhale, forward fold. Halfway lift. And left foot steps. Then you bring the arms back up overhead for warrior one. Bend into the left knee. Press down through the right heel. Neck is long. Inhale again, and then exhale, hands down to the earth, push back to down dog. This time I'm going to take the flow, but first I do it with intention. So come forward to plank on the inhale. Use your full exhale to lower down. Backward bend. And then back to down dog. A couple breaths here. Remember, in down dog, knees can be generously bent. Neck loose. Fingers spread wide, press through the index fingers and thumbs. Look forward, step forward. Drop the hips. Arms back up, chair pose. This time, go ahead and roll up onto one foot, ball of the foot, maybe 2 foot, ball of the foot. You might need to come out of that pose just a little bit to find that place where you can balance comfortably here while you wave your arms around, and that would be the end of the pose. Woohoo! Okay, eagle pose. Arms up wide and high. Take the right arm under the left one. Wrap and twist and sit down. And then cross that right leg up and over the left leg. Squeeze your 2 elbows together. Squeeze your 2 thighs together. Spread the toes out nice and wide. Sit down a little more. And then change. Switch sides. It's arms up overhead. This time left one under the right one. Sit down and back. Left leg over the right leg. And then change, arms up overhead. Woo! So how you guys doing out there? Take a picture of your setup and post it on Instagram. Just got hit in the back of the head with some water droplets. Okay, we'll see if that works. Let's stand on one foot. Okay. So shift your weight into your left foot. I'm going to bring my right thigh up to parallel-ish. Flex the right toes so they get involved in the party. And then draw that right hip slightly down, the belly in. Spread the toes out wide. Lift a little bit more out of the waist. Woo! Balance here. Best to focus on one thing that doesn't move. Now you have the option to go ahead and hold underneath that thigh with 10 fingers. Stand up a little taller. And allow a little wiggle and wobble into your practice. Much more functional that way. And then go ahead and release that leg down. Shake it out. So we'll switch over to the right leg, bringing the left thigh up to parallel. Focused on one thing that doesn't move. And then hold as you so desire with the hands or other option. And then I'll slowly push through my right foot as I lower that left foot back down. I put the coffee cup in the right place, guys. I got that drip. Okay. Switching back around. Shift the weight into your left foot. Bring the right thigh up to parallel. Flex those toes toward your face. Hey, Christine. Good to see you out there. And go ahead and hold here under the thigh. Option to use your peace fingers or your whole little hand here and slide it down and grab a hold of that right foot. Left hip, squeeze in, roll the right shoulder back, stand up taller still. Now with control, and especially on an exhale breath where you draw that belly up and in, begin to extend the leg any amount forward. Have some fun with this, okay? If there's somebody nearby, have them tickle you and see if you can hold it. Maybe you're not ticklish. Convenient. Stand up tall. And re-bend the knee. Set the foot back down and shake it out, around to the other side. Shift your weight back into your right foot. Left thigh comes up to parallelish. Find the wiggle, the wobble, and reach your left hand, index finger and thumb, or whole hand down inside, grab a hold of the foot. Again, option to balance here. Ooh, as he leans one direction. Pull the knee up and then squeeze the knee elbow into the body. Press down through the right foot, relax the left shoulder. And then pushing that heel forward some amount, any amount. Exhale, draws the belly up and in. Press through the right foot, 2. Still got it. Nope, lost it. That's the end of your pose. Standing bow. Shift your weight into your left foot, facing one direction. Right hand and palm up and out to the side. Look to pick up the foot from the inside. Option to grab the outside here if you prefer. If you're working with a body that is not adapted to this particular posture at the moment, you can balance on that right big toe. Pulling the shoulders open, bend the foot, bend the knee, grab the foot. Lengthen up out of the waist. Balance to the left knee, kick back, and then relax the shoulder. Up through the chest, down through the foot. Lengthen, keep breathing. One spot, nice and slow. And then release. Bring that all the way back to center. Switch sides. So I'll turn around. Stepping that left foot back, possibly to start. Extending left hand and palm out to the side. Shoulder rolls down the back. That shoulder is very tight from a long weekend of lifting boxes. Bend your left knee. Pick up the right foot, left foot. Heart forward. Lengthen through the back of the neck. And find the place where you can hold the kick and the reach at the same time. Heart up, tail down, back of the neck long. Focus on one thing. and kick to come back out. We'll leave it at that for balance today, friends. Back to the top of the mat, 2 hands to heart center. Inhale, arms up overhead. Lengthen up. Soften the knees. Exhale, dive forward. Halfway lift and lengthen. Plank pose. Now you can choose to move back to down dog, or you can choose to move down to the knees, or you can lower down in one piece. Backward bend, and then we'll move back to downward facing dog. Big inhale, big exhale. Use the whole breath to slow you down here. Stepping the left foot to the front of the mat. Spin the right heel out. Windmill to warrior 2. Bending deeper into that front knee, reaching out longer through that back heel. Shoulders kind of roll down slightly back, but also same thing with the hips. Rather than scalloping the low back, you want to tuck the tail under enough to feel like you can pull those inner thighs toward yourself and lift up out of the waist. Long through that warrior 2. One spot of focus right here. Exhale deeply. We'll take the left hand. Reverse your warrior. Inhale, warrior 2, and the left elbow down, right hand to sky. Extended side angle, press down to reach up, lengthen out of the waist, draw the belly up and in, and push against that left leg. Exhale deeply. Inhale up, warrior 2, straighten that leg and swap the feet. I'm going to point my right toes out, close that left foot in, bend the right knee deeply, but pull this hip open, reach out through 2 fingertips, focus gaze, a few breaths here. Sweep your right hand to the sky, reverse your warrior. Back up through the warrior 2. Right elbow comes down, push against it, lean into it, but push yourself away from your thigh while you bend the knee, and then extend the left hand up to the sky. Pull the arm and heart apart. Inhale up to warrior 2, and then straighten that right leg. Bring your 10 toes to face the side of the mat, the long edge. Soften the knees. Tilt the top of the hips forward as you keep your knees bent, and then lower all the way down to the mat. Woohoo! Soften the knees a little bit more, but do look for that place where you can lengthen the spine. It's not craning the head up. It's also not tucking it under. It's finding the longest position, one-ish line from the tail through the crown of the head. Keep breathing here. So if you're out there at home,
And I say this almost every time, but we're at that point in class where things start to get a little bit harder, 30, 35 minutes. If you're sticking it out, stick it out. Don't worry. The practice will take care of itself, even if you don't feel like it's resonating with you today, especially if you feel like you're distracted or confused or frustrated or whatever. Stick it through. The practice takes care of itself. Roll those hands back underneath you where you've got stability. You might need to heel toe in a couple of times, particularly if you have a drippy ceiling and a wet mat. Sweep the arms back up overhead. Step to the front of the mat and stand up tall. Let's do it again. Arms wide and high. Bend the knees. Forward fold. Half lift. Plank pose is next. And when you get there, sing yourself a little song that goes something like, row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, 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 life is but a dream. So 20 seconds, then you can lower down. Hopefully you've been washing your hands this whole time. And then back to downward facing dog. Is it row, row, row your boat? Twinkle, twinkle, little star? They're all the same. Happy birthday. Big inhale. Big exhale. Step the left foot forward. Right foot spins. Find that warrior two stance. Stable. Out through two wrists. Draw the belly up and in. Bend the left knee a little bit more. Exhale deeply. Flip the left palm. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Inhale through the warrior two. Hold here. Take the exhale. Inhale, expand, and then elbow down, right hand to sky. Lean up, press down. Maybe you have the option to reach a little closer to the ground, but don't worry about touching it. That's not the point. Pull the arms apart. Back of the neck feels long and comfortable, not clenched or crunched. Exhale deeply, and then inhale up to center. Straighten that leg. Swap the feet. Make sure you close that rear hip slightly. Bend deeply. Pull the legs back toward each other, and then hold. Flip the right palm, reverse your warrior. Inhale to the warrior two, right elbow down, push against it, left elbow up, lean back. Inhale, warrior two. Straighten the right leg, hands to hips, toes in, and this time we'll drop the heels in, shift the weight side to side, bend the knees. Whew. Okay, active pulling up and in your goddess pose. Dragging the energy from the mat all the way up into the pelvic floor. Try to tilt the tail slightly back and then just sink a little into it. It's okay to shift some weight side to side. Reminder, while you're out there, shoot a picture of your setup at home if you can, if you're not using your phone. If you are using your phone, you can do a screenshot. Post it on your stories, tag Common Bond. Thank you. Okay, 3, 2, 1. Stand up tall, step it out, shake it out. Whew. Monday. Of all Mondays, it's like
We're in the land of a million Mondays. Tree pose. Shift your weight into your left foot. Bring that right heel somewhere up here on the inside. Press 2 hips out and away. Lengthen the spine. And then find that position where you're stable. And release. Shake that out. There's the puppy. Switch sides. Shift your weight into your right foot. Bring the left heel up. Press down through that heel. Draw the belly up and in. Lengthen the back of the neck and hold. Change. Take a break, friends. Hey. Go ahead and land on your belly, please. So we'll go for a cobra pose next. Hands underneath the shoulders. Palms face down, tops of the feet into the floor. Roll those shoulders back. Lengthen the back of the neck. And then on your exhale, draw the belly up and in. On your inhale, lift. Press down through the pubic bone, but long through the back of the neck. Press the tops of the feet even into the floor. Up a little higher still. And then lower all the way back down. Relax your head, turn it to the right. Second set. Hands come underneath you, legs nice and long, tops of the feet into the floor. Exhale deeply. Inhale, lift cobra. Now, hands don't have to be close in. They can be a little bit wider, just tiny bit. Hug the elbows back in, though, long through the spine. Lift a little higher. And then lower all the way back down. Take a break, turn your head to the left. Chin forward. This time we'll come arms out to the side. Give me some cactus arms, elbows in line with the shoulders. Exhale deeply. Inhale, lift the chest. You can maybe lift the toes as well. And then consider hovering the hands. Shoulders up, elbows back, back of the neck nice and long. Keep breathing here. And all the way back down, head to the right. Second set. Elbows out, palms down. Exhale deeply. Inhale, lift. Toes come up. Toes can come together. Heels might even come together. Lift the elbows. Keep breathing. And then lower all the way back down. Head to the left, arms down.
Dhanurasana, bow pose is next. So, bending 2 knees or 1 knee. If you're on your back, a bridge pose is really great. Toes come together, squeeze the knees together, lengthen the back of the neck, exhale, and lift. So try to roll the shoulders back, press up through the toes, lengthen the back of the neck, hug the knees in. And then lower all the way down, take your head to the right. Second set, we'll go chin forward. Again, you can get a hold of the tops of the toes. You can grab from the inside as well, flip the palms so they're open. Keep those elbows slightly bent, look forward and kick. Now there's room to rock and roll here on the belly a little bit, but find those hip bones and press them down. Heart forward, chest up. Knees in, back of the neck nice and long. And then lower all the way back down, release. All right, friends. Use your hands to push the floor away from you and come to a child's pose, taking those knees out wide, big toes to touch if there's room, and lower all the way down onto your belly. Take a few good breaths here. And then stand up on the knees for camel pose Ustrasana. So we're going to take the knees out a little wider. Hands come back to the hip area. Fingers point downish, thumbs point out-ish. And it's about rolling up out of the waist. So pulling yourself as tall as you can get out of the waist. Scooting those hips forward with a little bit of gluteal engagement here for sure. And then beginning to lean the eyes to the sky. Back of the neck's nice and long. Press through the top of the feet. And relax the jaw. When you're ready, come on back up to the top and just sit your hips to your heels here. Take a moment, take a break. We are going to do a second set, but see if you can take a couple deep breaths. And then stand up on the knees. Take those knees a little wider apart. Squeeze the hips slightly forward. Press through the tops of your feet. Roll the shoulders back. Palms stay here on the glutes. They can move them forward as a reminder. If you're feeling comfortable in your extension, you can continue to talk without getting mostly winded. Bring your hands down to your heels and begin to see about peeling the heart sternum open while at the same time moving the tail toward the knees. And
and then work your way back up. And go ahead and side saddle down to your tail for boat pose. We'll scoot onto our seat, hug those knees into the chest, squeeze in between the knees and the ankles, and pull yourself up a little bit higher. And then extend the legs down and roll onto your back just for the moment. Go ahead and hug one knee into the chest, give it a squeeze. We'll switch sides. Hug the other knee into the chest, give it a squeeze. And change to release that leg back down. We'll sit up, however you get there, and pull your right knee up into the chest. Rather than being close to the left leg, keep that right foot out about hip-ish distance. You should feel that protrusion. That's your ischial tuberosity pressing into the floor. Hug the right knee up, lengthen the back of the neck, flex the toes. Just a little bit of a tug here, and then we switch to the left elbow, making room for the belly to turn and rotate around toward the wall behind you. Pressing down through both the left hip, right fingers, and right foot. Exhale very deeply. Bring the chin back into center, and then the chest back into center. Pick up that right foot and draw it across the body. Left leg across here. Grab a hold of the foot with two hands and just shake the leg right to left, left to right. All right, hold it in a little deeper. And then extend that right leg out. Let it go. We'll do the same with the left leg. Pull it up into the chest. Give it a squeeze. Sit up nice and tall. And then lean back. Grab with the right elbow. Press the left fingers into the floor, the left hip into the floor, and even the left foot into the floor. Bring yourself back into center. Pick up that left foot, draw it across the body, and shake it side to side a few times. Pull it a little closer. And then set the left leg back down. Wide-legged forward fold, friends. Our anti-penultimate posture. Taking the feet out, wide-ish. Picking your hips up if you can and rotating yourself slightly forward. Now, it's tempting just to flop down to the earth, but see if you can actually use those fingertips to lengthen the back of the neck. Nice and long. Flex the toes toward the face. Press down through the fingers and rotate the top of the hips forward. And then slowly, slowly, slowly pull yourself back up to the top and go ahead and bring those feet back in. We'll tuck the left or the right foot in, and then the right or the left foot in, either between the calf and the thigh is actually a comfortable place for it to be, or it can come up to this hip crease, though I would say that my ankle flexion as of late has been a little bit tight, so I'm not getting quite that full half lotus that I might have once had. Sit up nice and tall, big inhale, big exhale. Just a few deep breaths here, friends. When you're ready, however you're ready, make your way down onto your back for final resting pose or Shavasana. This is your chance to truly take it all in. And remember, no matter what the practice felt like in your mind at the time, the mind is not the practice itself. It's a layer deeper than we realize. And so the work that you've done takes care of itself, whether you believe it or not. And I could say that is my challenge today, to walk away from this class with all the fun and excitement of the weekend, etc., to accept that what we offer out there is what we need to offer. And when we walk away, trust that we'll have done what we could. So thank you very much for sharing with me. I will talk to you soon. Please tag us on Instagram, send people to our Patreon page. We're almost to 60 supporters. We're super stoked to have you out there, friends. Any amount you can contribute makes all the difference for Common Bond and for the community at large. Okay, good night.